Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to the Drinky Talky Thingy number 133. Will you stop fucking laughing every week?
I can't believe it.
I'll stop saying it if it stops you laughing.
Okay. Right.
I won't, but...
For anyone who's new, we talk about games and things whilst we drink lots of alcohol. If you want to follow us in the future, you find us on Twitter at 8-Bit Alliance.
Yes.
I'm D_Gow. He is DrunkenGamer. We also have a YouTube page.
Yeah. 8bitalliance.com/YouTube jumps you there, and Facebook, yeah, you'll find us.
He seems quite confident. I'll go along with it. Did you load up any stories?
I didn't load up the stories. I've got headlines.
Cool.
We'll start with Activision are...
They have an appetite for risk.
Yes.
They are freaking badass, is what they're saying.
Apparently people underestimate how much risk Activision are taking.
Yeah, right. Well, first of all, the Call of Duty franchise, biggest risk in the world ever.
I know.
I mean, that's never going to make money, is it? Although, interesting side story to this. Apparently, the pre-order rates for Ghost is substantially lower.
Yeah,
than any
the graph
Call of
is
Duty in the
quite substantially lower.
Yeah, basically, Black Ops goes like this, which for anyone on audio, pretty much it's a curve upwards.
Yeah. Imagine an upwards going graph, and you got it.
Yeah. Ghost, on the other hand, imagine kind of a gentle slope. Kind of, if you ever watched Teletubbies, that kind of slope they've got that they stand on. It's like, kind of like
Did you hear that was destroyed this week?
I know.
The Teletubby set was
The
destroyed.
farmer flooded it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bastard. There's two interesting side notes off this Activision story.
Yeah.
But anyway, Activision have come out and said, yeah, we're not averse to risk. We take risks all the time.
Yeah, but here we go. Here are the quotes. I feel like people breeze past that when they ask me about diversity. I don't know anybody that's taken a bigger risk on a less proven franchise based on the gut instinct than we did with Skylanders.
Yeah. Anyone curious, Skylanders is a Spyro the Dragon franchise.
Yes.
And if anyone here doesn't know who Spyro the Dragon is, just get out. You should know who Spyro the Dragon is.
Just because Skylanders happened to get big and is now a bigger franchise in its own right than Spyro, the franchise that it was based on and used as its selling point originally, does not make it a new franchise. You made a spin-off.
Let me point something out, right? Spyro the Dragon.
Yes.
Anyone who played that quite possibly now has kids.
Yes.
What are they going to choose when it comes to getting their kids games? Spyro. Skylanders, awesome. Skylanders now is just, granted it's rolled out further, but it started as Spyro and it'll always be Spyro. You can't call that a risk.
Yeah, he also said that we are diversifying via Destiny, a game that is rooted in first-person shooter mechanics but has a new genre altogether.
Oh, fuck off.
And he has coined the term shared world shooter. It's a fucking MMO FPS, you cunt.
Is it though? Because we've used this many times before. How many people can play at once?
Well, if you're calling it shared world, I'd assume everybody's on the same planet.
It's no goddess. Unless the planet's the size of Jupiter, I'm not happy. Peter Molyneux has ruined the world for me. But Activision are just... We know they're the safe brand. They haven't done anything outside of the box in a while. Let's bundle them together with Blizzard because it's Actibliz. Yeah. Right. StarCraft 2. Diablo 3.
Yep.
The other StarCraft 2.
Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, that one. So they're the three main releases from Blizzard.
Yep.
Not an ounce of originality.
Diablo 3, PS3 and Xbox.
Yeah, okay. Diablo 3 again. More World of Warcraft patches.
More,
Or expansions, as you call them.
Pandaria, yeah.
If we go back a long way in Activision's history, Guitar Hero.
Yes.
That alone. Call of Duty.
Yep.
I'm going to run out of games here. Skylanders. You see what I'm doing here?
Yep.
Help me out.
I can't help you because I can't think of anything.
I'm sure they have others, but you know what? They don't sell. So calling those they just sell what's good. I say what's good. They sell what they can sell.
Yep, that's it.
Anything they can make.
I think we may see the end of the annual Call of Duty cycle.
Yeah, I'm not surprised though, because
I think we may end up in a position where it's because Battlefield's going to stay biannual.
Yeah, and I think...
Call of Duty will go to biannual.
But I think they'll stagger.
Yeah, they'll
so
go...
they can steal for a year.
They'll basically be swapping back and forth. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it saves you having 2 games that you want to play at the same time. Which, currently, Battlefield is appealing to me more and more these days. As much as I moved from Battlefield to Call of Duty, I won't deny, but then I kind of stopped playing games after that.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I just got sick of too many releases, and I think I just shut down. I just stopped playing the games completely. Battlefield now are actually trying to do things a bit more. They're pushing forward. They're trying to do things new. Call of Duty hasn't had an innovation since slightly better rendered dogs.
Yeah, I'm just reading quote that he apparently said. I think the publishers which have a wider and more diverse slates are far less risky than us and far less creative. Just because you have a game in every genre does not mean that you're creative.
No, he's got a point.
Yeah, I agree.
That is a perfectly valid point, but just because you only do one genre also doesn't mean you're creative.
Yeah.
Especially when you press Control and C and then Control and V and put a dog in it. I'm sorry, I get sick of Call of Duty.
The only reason I wanted this story to come up is because calling Skylanders a gut instinct new franchise altogether, calling it a new genre, I'd happily accept new genre.
Yeah.
Because
no, the genre hasn't changed. New monetization method. It's not a new genre. They've taken an existing genre and tacked toys onto it.
Yes, they have. That's probably...
That's like calling a Happy Meal a new kind of food.
Well, to be fair, it is. To be fair, it is, because it's not fucking meat.
Fair point. Can't argue with that. It is the Happy Meal of the gaming world.
It is, yeah.
Funnily enough, no, I want it more. That's quite depressing. I want a Happy Meal.
You can't have one.
Do you still... There was talks, wasn't there, of getting a Skylanders toy and a Happy Meal?
Yes. It didn't work with Skylanders, though.
Oh.
It was just a Skylanders type toy.
Oh, for
It was a toy that was like a Skylanders model and exactly like a Skylanders model, probably stamped in the same fucking factory, but
didn't put the RFID.
They didn't put the RFID chip in.
See, this is what annoys me. Is an RFID tag isn't expensive.
No.
But I suppose it stopped them selling toys, so...
Yeah, but what you do is you just give away the first generation toys. The ones that you aren't selling anymore.
Or just put in tiny bits of gameplay for these little ones.
No.
You know, bits that you don't really care about.
The models that came with the Happy Meals were exactly the same as the first generation characters anyway. The ones that you get with the game.
I don't know what this is. There we go. Cheers.
So you put them in and let everybody... Did you just fail to...
There you go. Yep. I struggled.
Right. Anyway, moving on then. Diablo 3, seeing as we've mentioned it.
This is your genre.
Right, Diablo 3 on the console has launched. It is getting good reviews. Ish.
This is the problem, right? All reviews of Diablo are going to be tainted one way or another. First of all, you can have a console game that hasn't played Diablo.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's going to come out of that. PC gamer that's moved to console that has played Diablo in the past will think, it's not too bad. PC gamer that's played Diablo 3 and played the console version will think, what the fuck is this?
Well,
it's not. Right?
It's what bothers me more about it. The story is actually that Diablo 3 has come to the console and has an offline mode, and they have still said that us PC players will not be getting one.
Too right. Dirty bastards.
Fuck off.
Why do you need one?
I want to put it on my goddamn laptop so that I can play it when I'm on site in a bloody hotel without having to pay £5 for a fucking internet access for the night.
Nah. That's just silly. It adds so much more to the game being logged into Battle.net so your friends can see that you're playing Diablo. That's where the real fun is.
Yeah, okay, let's move on from that. And yeah, so that's the annoying story. But I actually downloaded, because there is a demo for Diablo 3 on the console now. I downloaded the demo and went, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's, from what I understand from you, it's a simplified...
They have simplified the simplified Diablo game.
Muffin?
Not right now.
Okay. I'm going to take the blueberry one if that's alright with you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diablo 3 was already simplified from a Diablo game standpoint.
Yeah, they made it mass market a bit more, haven't they?
They made it a bit more mass market, which is fair enough. But the console version, the dodge ability of the Demon Hunter has been given to every class, so every class can dodge.
Is dodge ability a word? Oh, right, dodge ability, right. In my mind, that was one word. I was thinking, dodge ability, that's a word. Carry on.
Anyway, yeah. The dodge ability of...
I like the slight hesitation in between.
Yeah, every character's got that now. But to make up for the fact that you can't be as accurate with a controller as you can with a mouse, a lot of spells now seem to have... a lot of abilities now seem to have some kind of lock-on aspect to them. Which means...
Does that mean...
What the fuck?
If you're a ranged character and there's a group of things, does that mean you're going to struggle, really?
Well, no, if you're a ranged character and there's a group of things, as long as you're pointed roughly in the right direction, the moment you hit an ability, it will point you in exactly the right direction. You've got to be looking in roughly the right direction, and then it'll kind of lock onto something in that direction.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
No, it's not.
It is for console gamers, because you don't have that same kind of accuracy. It's not that you can just point and click with a bloody control pad, is it?
No, but I managed to make fucking Diablo 3 work with an Xbox controller without taking the skill out of it.
When I saw this story, I knew this was going to come up. I knew you were going to say, I emulated a freaking mouse for my keypad just so I could play it. But I appreciate your efforts.
I've proved it can be done without taking the challenge out of the game. So, fuck. If that took them a year and a half to code a fucking game controller for it.
I love the idea that in my mind now on the Diablo box, there's all these reviews and it says, Paddy Fellows, fuck. That would make me buy the game. Sorry, carry on. I've played the...
This
is just pure angst, isn't
it? Yeah, I've played the demo now,
it for me.
and I'm thinking, what took them so goddamn long? Recreating that UI, yes, the new console UI for it is good. For a console UI. It wouldn't work in... it's designed for...
Exactly, yeah, it's made to work with your silly control pads, triggers and so on. But I imagine that's even more... Because obviously you have more... Right, Diablo Virgin here. I'm going to use the term spells for abilities and so on. But I imagine you have more spells than you have buttons. Or am I just being daft here?
No, because they simplified everything to the point where it actually fits onto a There is only that many abilities.
All right.
There is only that many ability slots that works on a controller.
Fair enough.
Even on the PC version, where you have quite a lot of buttons. I can see 26 in just the letters alone.
What is it on a keyboard? 104 or something daft?
I think it's something daft like that. And that's not including combinations of control and button.
That always used to annoy me though, because cheap keyboards don't recognise more than so many keys.
Yeah, don't buy cheap keyboards.
No, well the problem, I remember doing this because I used to play Battlefield a lot.
Yeah.
If I wanted to crouch and go diagonally at the same time,
my
character would end up just going like the wrong way. So everyone else is going that way and I'm strafing away from them. No! Either that or
I'm not sure where my rant was going with that. I've lost track of where I was.
It's too simplified, it's not quite as good as it should be, and it's taken too damn long. Oh, yes. And it has an offline mode, so you're insanely jealous, so ignore all previous statements. Alright?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm pissed off that the PS3 version has got an offline mode and my PC version doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump into the next one with GTA 5. It's freaking huge. That's not even on here, I just wanted to say it, because have you seen the size of the map?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes! And I'm going to go straight into my
You can't control that much!
I'm going to go straight into my go-to rant of it's too fucking big.
It's not. Right.
Unless there is a method of quick travel, it's too fucking big.
My argument against this, right, this is a game where they have clearly put effort into making the mundane possible.
Yeah, but I don't play games to do the fucking mundane.
Yeah, but some people... You play MMOs. I'm just going to go grind over here for a bit.
No, I blow shit up. I play MMOs to kill shit.
Not on, right? Anyway, the map is vast, and they've made a point of the fact you can do pretty much anything. There are planes, so you can get around the map quicker. Throw that in there. It's vast. It is huge, and it is awesome. The great thing is you could actually think, I'm going to go for a long drive. And you could go for a long drive.
I don't want to go for a long drive.
Why not?
I want to get to the bit where I blow shit up.
Right, in my eyes...
This is why I prefer Saints Row.
If they could get GTA, get the driving mechanic right, which I have no doubt they haven't, because it's GTA.
Yeah.
We've gone from one extreme to the other. It's like literally sticky like glue to you're driving on ice at all times.
Yeah.
If they get the driving mechanic right, you could actually just go driving in the countryside, and that would be good.
No, it wouldn't. That's not a game.
If it was Gran Turismo mixed with GTA, so you've got the driving physics and the ability to nick a really nice car and then go tearing through the hills.
So basically what you want is Driving Simulator 2013.
Fuck off. I want to be able to shoot people as well, alright?
No, you can't have both.
Let's be honest, I want a game where I can do anything, and GTA is the closest you can get to that. Literally, if you want a countryside game where you're frolicking around shooting bunnies, you can do it in GTA, because the countryside is huge. If you want to be in the middle of a city flying a jet...
I'm going to put out... I want to see you go rabbit hunting. I'm going to guess that they haven't coded bunnies in.
No, I don't think there's bunnies either. But I imagine there's something I can hunt. There must be things I can shoot out in the country. I'm pretty sure there will be. But either way, if I want to do that, or if I want to go racing around a city in a jet, I imagine that's a normal thing to do. You seem to be able to do it. And that has to be applauded, especially on this generation looking that good.
No, I'll give them this generation and looking good is an impressive feat. But I still do not like having to drive for 10 minutes between fucking missions. It's padding the game, and people don't seem to fucking realise.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like real life, Paddy. I mean, come on, everyone wants to experience real life in a virtual world, don't they?
No!
Look at Second Life, that was successful. I can't imagine why.
But one of the reasons it looks as good as it does, is because apparently it's got the second highest price mark of any media.
Yeah.
Second only to Pirates of the Caribbean 3, which came in at 300 and odd million. This version of Diablo, Grand Theft Auto 5 has come in at 286 million, or is that 66?
66. Pretty much $250 million.
Yeah. I do like doing
I prefer putting it in that context. It sounds a bit more epic.
$250 million.
You should put your finger to you. No?
No.
I
can remind you that you're a quarter of a century old.
Oh, fuck off. That is a redonkulous amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean...
For a game?
Yeah. Well, for anything.
Oh, for anything, yeah.
Even a movie, that's a lot of money.
We've had... it's less than a year ago. In fact, no, it'll be just over a year ago that we were taking the piss out of the fact that Star Wars The Old Republic came in at just over 200 million.
Yeah, but that's because that wasn't very good.
That was before we knew it wasn't very good.
This is the
but
issue.
that was 200 million for an MMO.
Yeah, but they paid over the odds. Let's be honest. Rockstar have done this, and this is... I mean, every time I see a video, every time I see a screenshot, every time I hear something about this game, there's only one word that comes to mind. How? How have they done this? I don't understand. They've made a game, they've got an online game as well, which you can have lots of people kind of in a city playing.
The co-op
together.
missions.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the co-op missions.
Yeah, but I still can't fathom how, because it looks as good as next gen. It does.
That's because they've learnt everything that needs to be learnt about this platform.
Do you not find it absolutely ridiculously unbelievable, though? I mean, it is...
How long have they been working on it?
Fair point.
This is it. They never. They will not have stopped. They may have made Red Dead in the middle, but they will not have stopped development on Grand Theft Auto.
Well, this is it's everything. The shooting looks very Max Payne. The driving could be Midnight Club or whatever else. They've made so many games over so many different genres. They could just literally take all the bits, slam them together, and give you.
They have literally spent the last GTA 4's 8 years old now, I think.
I've no idea.
So 8 years working on a game. After 8 years working on a single-player game, you'd expect it to be fucking spectacular.
All I can think is literally, what am I going to do with my life? Because this game pretty much takes over your life. There's too much in there that you couldn't possibly do everything. And at that point, what's going to happen? I'm not going to have time to play any other game. I'm not going to have time to go outside. I'm going to work and play GTA. And if Fiona's lucky, I might even talk to her occasionally. You're worried where I was going with that, weren't you?
No. Because if she watches this, you're not got a chance anyway.
Yeah, fair point. I'll argue with that.
Hi, Fee.
Yeah, I bought her a game the other day, but I won't get into that.
I was wondering how long it'd take to crowbar that in.
I'll mention that at some point. We'll get into it. Maybe when we mention indie games later.
Okay, PS4. Let's quickly take a bit of a detour into the PS4 land.
Yes.
And the poor fuckers in Japan. Probably where half of these damn consoles are being made.
Well, yeah. It's definitely designed in Japan.
Yeah.
It's made by a Japanese company predominantly for a Japanese market and then expanded out to the rest of the world. And now they're getting shunned slightly, aren't they?
They are getting it an entire 3 months after everybody else.
Basically, they've taken the same marketing approach that Xbox have taken, but just taken it to an extreme.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft have launched earlier in Europe, is that right?
They have launched... after the PS...
That's it.
They are after the PS4 in America, where they have the predominant market. They have launched, but made sure they are ahead of the PS4 in Europe, where they have the weaker market.
So
and
more focus on the weaker market to try and capture more of it. Now,
I think it's just that they didn't want to faff about having to print 2 sets of fucking marketing.
Yeah, but they are, aren't they? Because they're only launching in 13 countries.
Yeah.
But Sony are launching in more countries to start with, but with staggered release dates. America getting it this time, Europe that time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 29th for Europe.
29th for Europe. Friday the 29th for Europe. And 15th.
15th for America. Microsoft came dead in between, and Japan came February 20-something.
22nd. February the 22nd, the Japanese are having to wait for.
They've not even just a little bit postponed it. They have well and truly pushed it back.
Yeah.
But I don't know the culture. I don't know if February might be a stronger market in Japan.
It
I
might be, but in the meantime, it is a bit of a dick move, but there's obviously a reason for it. They wouldn't do it without reason.
Yeah. Do Japanese have... This is going to sound really racially insensitive. En masse, do they celebrate Christmas?
I don't know.
I can't imagine they would, given that generally Christianity is a Western thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure they do. I'm not sure they're doing the same way.
I'm wondering if it might relate to another holiday they have in the Eastern.
New Year.
That's Chinese.
Fuck.
I knew where you were going with that.
I don't know.
Don't say it. Don't say it. They're not all the same. Either way, our market is different to theirs, so it might make more sense. I've no idea.
Yeah.
But
it'd be interesting to see
the numbers game. You think?
No. It'd be interesting to see the first Japanese imports of European consoles.
They'll be there looking at our Roman language. What are these crazy glyphs?
But
words.
In counterbalance, they get the PS Vita TV.
Yes.
Now, PS Vita TV is an interesting idea. It is effectively a PS Vita without a screen.
Yeah, it's a cheap console.
Yeah.
And I can't argue with it.
Basically, it will play any Vita game with a PS4 controller synced to it. It will act as a shockingly, a off-TV play device if if somebody wants to use the main TV that your PS4 is attached to, you can send it to your PS Vita TV and play it on another screen.
So it's a streamer at that point.
So it's a Wii U at that point.
Yeah.
It's. I'm gonna say I'm annoyed by the Wii U, but you can't dispute that every idea it's had has already been stolen.
Yeah. There's one thing that the Vita has that the Wii U doesn't, though.
User base?
No, games.
Yeah.
They tend to come in useful for a games console. But the Vita has an existing games base.
Yeah.
It's got more power than any other micro console.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it. I'm sure somebody else used that term somewhere else. But kind of like the UYAs and so on. It's similar kind of size, but it's...
Yep.
It's Sony
and it's $100.
Yeah. The only problem is you have to buy a DualShock 4 controller or something to play it. So.
But if you're getting a PS4 anyway...
Exactly. It's a supplementary...
Do you want to know where I see most of these shifting? Now, unfortunately, I've announced these aren't going to be released in US or Europe, but I think that will change.
Yeah.
I think that will change
if there's
very
demands,
rapidly.
They'll release it.
Because you want to know where I see it?
I'm curious. Go on.
I see it by everybody who's bought a PS4 having it as their spare room.
The second TV.
Second TV. Because you can access Netflix on it.
Yeah. I'd have one.
Yeah, I'd have one in a heartbeat because then I can put the PS4 on the main TV, put the Vita box here, and use it on this TV whenever.
I was thinking I'd just tell Fiona, right, if you want to watch that, go upstairs. I'll play on my PlayStation.
Yeah, but if it's streaming the PlayStation, you can't actually play on the PlayStation while she's using the Vita.
So it doesn't have a standalone
Oh no,
Netflix
it actually
app.
has a standalone Netflix app. So yeah, she'd be okay with that.
Let her play games on it. No, we'd have to.
Hi Fiona.
No, she's totally turned off gaming now after that recent episode. I'm going to get into it soon. I will mention what game I bought.
The other two bits of PlayStation 4 news is Final Fantasy XIV players who have bought the PS3 version, hello Roy, will be able to transfer to PS4 for free.
Cool.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Because it'd be very easy for Square Enix to just try and milk a bit of extra money there, considering they are currently milking money out of players that buy the PS3 version and then want to transfer to PC, where an MMO should be played.
Don't be an elitist snob, but you're right.
Play an FPS on a console.
Don't start. I play Call of Duty on console. I think that's where it belongs. Full of those people.
And the final bit of PS4 news is Sony have said they are working hard to try and make sure the PS4 does not run out of stock at launch.
Yeah, but do you know how they've done this? This to me is backwards. What they're doing is they're holding back some consoles.
Yeah.
That to me doesn't make sure they're not out of stock. I don't get it. Because the same amount of pre-orders still exist.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is all the pre-orders, even if they fulfill every single pre-order,
Yep.
and then ship a few to retail, and then ship a few more, and drip feed them in, what they're going to say is they're not out of stock, they're awaiting stock. But either way, there's still the same amount of PS4s in total.
Literally, PS4 is going to run out.
Yeah.
It's going to run out. And the Xbox is going to run out.
I would rather them just release all of them at retail straight away, have them sell out, and then I can sell it for more on eBay. I mean, shit. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? I think that's why they're trying to do it. Because if you sell them out all at once, eBay prices go through the roof.
Yeah.
And you get a bad kind of
The
experience.
eBay prices are going to go through the roof anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the Xbox ones are going to be worse.
Are they?
Yeah.
Foreign markets?
No.
Oh.
Well, foreign markets, yes, but the Xbox went and branded their launch editions, didn't they?
Yeah. And a free copy of FIFA.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. But let's be honest. I don't know if it's a clever move to brand it or not. So if it's anything like the Xbox 360, it'll only last 6 months anyway. And then you'll get a new one.
Yeah, actually, that would be... That's something I've not thought of yet. What if the next generation Xbox red rings? I don't think they'd be that stupid to let it happen again. I bet
if
this thing's
anyone's going to do it, it'll be Sony.
Yeah.
purely because just. Again, I don't know scale yet. I've not had my hands on either console, but the Xbox One looks like they've thought, well, fuck it, let's make it bigger and put plenty of cooling in it.
Yeah.
Whereas Sony have gone for an italic little thin thing, which I don't know if it's going to have sufficient cooling. And let's be honest, do you remember when the Xbox and the PS3 first came out? All people said was the Xbox sounds like it's going to take off at all times, and the PS3 is marginally better, but at the same time still fucking ridiculous. And they need to get that cooling aspect right, because nobody wants a really powerful games thing if all you hear is at all times.
Yeah, if the Xbox manages to have a catastrophic fault in that first 6 months, are they going to replace all these Day One Edition branded consoles with Day One Edition branded consoles? Or are they just going to replace...
I think this is the risk, isn't it, that you run when you do a special run. But I imagine they'll just replace the insides and stick a different box on the outside. Yeah, well, shall we move on? Because we're ripping into Xbox with absolutely no foundations at all. We've mentioned the concept, the idea they may have a red ring.
Let's give them a reason to rip into them in the fact that they have acquired the xbone.com domain.
Yeah.
Because apparently the people at Microsoft are not happy about the Xbone moniker. What the fuck did they think we were going to do?
Well, somebody made a spoof account on Reddit and said, I work for Microsoft and our marketing department, we thought it would work the same way as the 360.
Yeah.
We call it the Xbox 360, everyone calls it the 360, so we thought we'd call it the Xbox One and everyone would just call it the One. Clearly it's a spoof account, because no one in the right mind would ever call it the One. And it just went down the route of basically everyone in Microsoft is now crying themselves to sleep at night, which
but they had to buy the Xbone domains, which pleases me greatly.
Yeah.
Xbone.
Simple things. But
I'm going to say saying that.
Xbone may have been the best marketing ploy, but the family sharing, that was fantastic. And we mentioned when they got rid of it.
We agreed that was a genius idea and it should have stayed, and then it didn't.
Unfortunately, a few bad apples spoiled it for the rest of us by saying it's all shit. What they need to do is just say, look, just fix this aspect. There was one tiny bit wrong with the Xbox.
You see this bit where you're demanding us to be online once every 24 hours? Yeah. Delete that line of code.
Yeah, just
Job
drop it.
done! We'll take the rest of the shit you're giving us.
Yeah. Instead, they did a hack-slash approach, dropped all the interesting features, and we ended up with another standard console, a la PlayStation.
Yeah.
No wrist, no fuss, just console. Steam, on the other hand, thought, actually, I like that idea, and everyone loves us. We could shit in somebody's face, and they will think we're doing them a favour. Because that's the Steam.
To be fair, no, there was rumours about the Steam family sharing long before the Xbox was announced.
But it wasn't there. Xbox beat them to it.
No, Xbox beat them to it for an announcement, but there were rumours of some kind of sharing or loaning system going into Steam, and there have been for about 2 years.
Yeah, but it never came to fruition. A rumour's one thing, but whether they act upon it or not is another.
But now they have.
Yeah.
And you can now sign it. Well, sorry, they said, we will invite the first 1,000 people to join this Steam group to the Friends and Family Sharing beta, and within 25 minutes, the Steam group was at 10,000 people.
Nice.
That's how much people want to share their Steam collections.
Yeah. Well, I can understand it.
Yeah.
Because you don't always want to buy a game if your mate just wants to try it.
Yeah.
And they've done it well. And because it's Valve, people are literally... They're falling at their feet and bowing to them.
I do get a bit pissed off at how much people bow down to Valve, because at the end of the day, Valve are still a fucking corporation. They're still trying to take our money.
They're still a corporation. They do fuck us over, for
Quite
example.
regularly, yeah.
Right, Half-Life 3. I know it's a meme, I know people go on about it, but it's still not here and nobody really seems to care. It's kind of like, oh, you Valve, you nasty pieces of work.
Yeah.
If that was a year and they hadn't released a game that everyone was waiting for...
SimCity.
Yeah, people would be up in arms. They
New
would
Battlefield.
be ready to kill them. Exactly. People are happy to pick on other companies. They complain about Origin, always on DRM. What the fuck do you think Valve is? They copied it letter for letter pretty much and just renamed it.
No. I will give Steam a bit of a head up there. You can play Steam offline.
You can play Origin offline.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Because I had the previous version of Origin, and you could play games offline without a problem. Honestly,
I think some of the games, actually, Origin games, require a constant connection.
Yeah, but it's down to the game, not the platform.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
But people rip into any other company other than Valve.
No, I agree.
Valve
yeah.
are pretty much.
Valve get given a much wider reign than they should be given. Greenlight is a complete and utter fuck up.
Yeah, but nobody cares because it's Valve. Gabe came up with it. Almighty Gabe.
Gabe was a genius in his day, but he's got a case of the Molyneux.
He has, clearly.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone should be given any kind of credence based on kind of unfounded nonsense.
Yep.
You take it on facts, right? If somebody says, I'm really sorry we have to do this, it's still fact that they're fucking you over, whether they say it nicely or not. EA, I like it. It's nice and simple. They say, we're doing this. Their PR's terrible.
Yeah.
But at least I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Gabe Newell will wrap something in sugarcoat everything and just pretty much say, we'll do this, and this. By the way, you have to be online. You have to be doing this. And yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But people just accept it. It's exactly the same as every other platform. People just like...
No. I agree. Valve is given too much.
Yeah.
Too much leeway. But...
I'm pretty sure my rant just went round and
yeah,
round and round.
I know. But family sharing, we wanted it, and now we're getting it.
Mm.
So the fact that I will now be able to set my ex-closest friends as family and share my entire Steam library...
You will be on my list so you can borrow Gone Home.
I don't want to.
I feel like it's time, Paddy.
Is it really time?
It's time for Gone Home.
Then get the... I'll let you rant while I go and get a beer.
Right. Gone Home.
I'm stuck.
Have any of you played Gone Home? Have you seen the reviews for Gone Home? It's one of the most polarised games on Metacritic. Because the critics' reviews... There was 2, which were about 60 or 70%. The vast majority were about 100 or 90, which is absolutely ridiculous anyway. A game getting that much is quite pushing it. Now, Gone Home is your standard point-and-click kind of adventure. It's nothing spectacular in terms of gameplay or graphics. The voice acting is spectacular. The story is very well crafted, and the way it all comes together is very good. But it's 15 quid. It lasts 90 minutes. 90. That's an hour and that's £5. £5 for every half hour.
You can get 2 hookers in Hull for that.
Exactly. But anyway, it's cheaper to go see a movie and buy popcorn.
That's wrong.
Yeah. For 90 minutes worth of gameplay. And when I say gameplay, I mean literally it's a rummaging simulator. You open cabinets and you look at paper. It's no more complicated than that. The great thing about this game comes in when it's all around the story and everything's built up through notes. You don't meet any other characters. You are literally wandering through a house, looking at bits of paper and building a story. And it builds a very good story. But the story isn't original. It's nothing new. It kind of clings onto things that... It's kind of the kind of stories pitched at teenagers. It's full of teenage angst. It's got punk music spattered throughout there from the 90s that people go, oh, I remember this, and it has a bit of a nostalgia effect. But overall, there is no game. It's story, pure story, nothing else.
Yeah.
And if it's pure story and the gameplay offers nothing tangible, it should be a book.
Yep.
If the gameplay doesn't offer anything, if the gameplay actually holds it back and makes it tedious, it should be a book. This is my issue with Gone Home. It's a very good story. The voice acting is brilliant, but I'm not sure it's needed, because if it was a book, imagination fills in the gaps. And the overall concept is a bit kind of flawed. I can't go into too many details. I don't want to spoil it for those idiots that buy it. But yes, I'm one of you. The whole concept is just wrong. It's somebody saying this is a new idea and a bit of experimentation for games. It's games as art. But in terms of
Well,
art, let me elaborate.
Yeah.
In terms of art, it's that bloke that paints a canvas blue and puts 4 squares on it. It's not fucking art. It's the wrong genre for whatever the hell you're trying to do.
It's the wrong platform for what they were. Now, I agree with. Well, I haven't played it, so I can't fully agree with what you've said. However, what you've shown me so far and what I've read online, I will stand up for the fact that it's a gateway.
Yeah.
It's a gateway game. It may not have massive story gameplay potential, but the fact that they focused on story and a new way of storytelling and focusing the key aspect as storytelling. This could lead on to other games.
This is my issue because a lot of people have given this 10 out of 10.
Oh no, I wouldn't have given it. Yeah.
Look at it this way: when somebody gets this right,
yeah.
When somebody hits the nail on the head, they're going to go,
both.
"Oh, we'll give it." Oh fuck.
Yeah.
This is my problem. It's not good. It is a leap forward in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, it's a massive jump forward for storytelling. But
it's 3 leaps back in gameplay.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, as much as I'd like to say, great, yeah. Story is important. We've been through this.
We've been through this. You can't. It's a 3-legged thing.
Yeah, you have to have gameplay in that.
You got to have gameplay. You got to have graphics, and you got to have story. If 2 of the aspects are spectacular, then it can kind of carry a false limp.
Yeah, I will sum this game up in a simple sentence. It's as if somebody has taken a nicely written book, albeit slightly full of
generic
things that have already been done.
Nicely written generic book.
Yeah. And then scattered it amongst your house like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
And you might not find all the pages. You might not fill out the full story. But I'll be honest, I made a point of making sure I found every single bit.
Yeah.
And if I didn't find it, once I finished the game, I actually went on the internet and Googled to make sure I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Make sure I didn't miss anything, because I was adamant that I'd missed something.
Yeah.
But no, I'd got it all. And at that point, I kind of literally just thought, well, what a complete and utter waste of time. And there was 2 of us playing it.
Yeah.
I'm more the gamer route. I'm not into the... I like the emotional side of games.
Yeah.
I kind of relate to it and it's great, but I'm not an angst-ridden teenager. So I don't think this appeals... I don't think it's pitched at me. And at which point it's too niche and it's a bit too... Yeah. My other half is a bookworm. She doesn't play games, does she? I mean, you met her. She doesn't play games at all. She was excited to play this.
Yep.
She got to the end and went, well, that was shit. She rarely swears.
Yeah.
She just said, well, that was shit. And that kind of says it all. It's a story that's not complicated enough and doesn't build enough character because of
Make
the
her
way
play Walking Dead.
Well, that's it. She might enjoy that. Because of the way it's told and because there's no real gameplay to it. It wasn't a game like she was expecting, which was a bit annoying for her. The story wasn't as good as what you get in a proper novel.
Did she play Last of Us?
She watched me play it. It's a bit too difficult, so she needs to build up. But that's my point. Last of Us is a nice blend of story and gameplay.
Yeah.
It comes together nicely. There's some repetitive bits, but you oversee it because the gameplay is good and the story's good. This is an example of extremely poor gameplay, extremely good story.
And, graphics.
Graphics are kind of standard, they're alright. But the problem is when you've got gameplay so far down the scale and the story so up the scale...
Yeah.
You may as well not have the gameplay. The gameplay is literally a mechanism for slowing down the progress throughout the story. It just stops you progressing the story so quickly. At which point, get a book.
Yeah.
Write a story. Stop trying to be a pretentious knobhead who thinks, I'm going to make art. You're not. You're going to make an annoying fucking game that I paid 15 quid for. And now feel like I've been...
If it had been cheaper, you would have fucking loved it.
I feel like I've bought a hooker and she's fucked me. Right, that's how bad it is.
You have to pay more for that.
But it is completely backwards. It is not right, and I don't think it deserves the attention. It deserves attention, but it doesn't deserve the review scores it's getting. It should have a disclaimer on the box. This is not a game. It's an interactive story.
It's an interactive
Probably
story.
Should be in a book. And that's the bit that gets me.
Right, I think at
Wrong
that point,
medium.
At that point, we should stop, put a song in, let you calm down.
Yeah, I want to point out I'm not a troglodyte. I do enjoy stories, but I think every right tool for the right job, and this isn't the right tool at all. Carry on. Music.
Hello and welcome back. Hello, much welcome back, video people. We kind of
we have video again.
I fucked up. It seems that the power cable that is attached to the camera kind of slipped loose.
Basically, when there's alcohol involved, little things like that don't actually get noticed.
We just don't care.
Yeah, but music.
The music, which we haven't heard because Newgrounds is apparently offline at the minute.
This is not going well.
No, but Newgrounds is apparently offline, so we can't download it or listen to it. Is 8-Bit Showdown by Elite Ferex and Halcyonic Falcon X.
Yeah, or Dave for sure.
Yeah, who is good? Henceforth, going to call Bob and Dave.
Yeah.
So 8-Bit Showdown by Bob and Dave.
Can be Chaz and Dave.
No,
they exist.
They exist,
yeah.
But Bob and Dave don't.
Yeah. What?
Well said.
This is not going well.
English go well, yes.
Yeah.
What story do you want to go to? You were reading a story before.
The iPhones. Because it's redonkulous. We're back to the same old marketing gimmicks. Nothing has changed. Do you remember 64-bit processors?
The iPhone cheap and the iPhone shiny.
Exactly. Right, the iPhone shiny, basically all they've done is they've made a gold version for chavs.
Yep.
And then made the iPhone cheap for kids.
Yep.
Now, let me point something out. The iPhone cheap isn't cheap.
No, it's not.
It's about 30, 40 quid cheaper than the iPhone 4 was on release, which to me isn't cheap at all.
No.
You know what's cheap?
Don't shut...
The Nexus 4. The Nexus 4 is cheap. That is how a cheap phone's done.
Yeah.
When you're charging above £500 for your cheap phone, you're taking the piss a bit.
Yeah, the iPhone cheap was supposed to be iPhone's answer to the Android low-cost devices.
Yeah.
However, the Android low-cost devices come network unlocked.
And low cost.
And lower
Let's
cost,
be honest, yeah.
But even if they came at the same cost as the iPhone, they'd come network unlocked.
Yeah.
And that alone is enough.
Apple have another issue as well, which somebody mentioned. The amount of versions of the iPhone 5 isn't as simple as it looks, because you have 4G, obviously, or LTE or whatever, but then across different regions you have different versions. In America, some different networks have different bandwidths. Yeah. So you literally have to get the right phone for the right network.
If you want to use 4G here in the UK and you're using an iPhone, don't plan on being on any other network but EE.
Oh no, Paddy! I may have set an awkward precedent for you here.
Why?
Upon tweeting about the fact that everything's gone horribly wrong with the video, somebody has now demanded that you get 30 minutes of animation of a dinosaur walking across the screen. Good luck. What will
any particular?
I've got a plan.
Reply and ask for any particular dinosaur.
Right, you carry on.
Yeah, here in the UK, the 4G network for the iPhone, the only network the iPhone's 4G works with is EE, because they're on the right band. Yeah. Whereas everybody else in the UK has gone on the other band. So all Android phones work because they're dual band anyway.
But this is the problem. Why not? Big businesses ruin this kind of stuff because they
Have you seen the Pixel? What the fuck's it called? The block phone.
The what now?
It is a smartphone concept that's kind of getting a bit of traction because you can snap out components.
But you're calling it a block phone.
Yeah, it's a bad name for it, and I'm trying to find the link.
I now have in my mind basically a cube. And all I know about cubes is they have pointy corners, and drunk, I would take my eye out.
Yeah. Fuck, I've lost the link.
That's two rabbits fucking right there.
Yeah, it is.
I'm getting a bit of an insight into Paddy's search history here.
There we are, modular phone. That's the better one. Phone blocks.
Every day we throw away.
I don't want that.
We probably shouldn't be recording this as we watch it, because
watching
a video.
I can edit.
Watching a video.
I can edit it now. So it's phone blocks. The idea behind phone blocks is that you get your central...
kind of your core phone.
Think circuitry, when you get your breadboard circuitry, and you can plug bits into the breadboard and turn it into a full circuit. Imagine that with an entire phone. So that you basically get your battery with block and stick it in. You get your connected block and stick it in.
In my mind, then, this is very much like the Sony Ericsson T68i. My very first, I think the very first camera phone, where you had a phone.
Yep.
And if you wanted to have a camera, click.
Yep.
You had a camera. Or I think there was other adapters as well, and you'd kind of attach them in.
So look at that. So
whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah. So the so the screen's a module. So when the screen gets upgraded, you swap out the screen and get a new HD screen. If you don't use the camera, you drop out the camera components and get a bigger battery. If your battery's not got the life,
so it's literally all lots of different widgets.
Lots of different componentized blocks that you piece together to make the phone that suits you. If you do all your data storage in the cloud, you don't put in the massive memory. You put in the tiny memory and get a bigger battery. Or
is it cheaper than a Nexus?
That's
my main issue.
It's still a concept at the minute.
See, that is a cool idea. Because then you can build your own phone.
Yeah. So your camera people will put a massive camera in, but maybe not put as much. They'd put as much storage in, but maybe they'd forego a bit of battery for it.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. I'll be honest. This concept is amazing.
So there, yeah.
Execution.
Cloud
worker.
Cloud worker. He's obviously got rid of the storage. His storage is there.
Yeah.
And he's got a massive, massive battery.
I like this a lot. My only problem would be...
There you go. Buy one for your grandma. Huge battery.
Nothing else at all.
Yeah.
I imagine this is a great idea, but when it comes to execution, I think you would struggle because I think your phone's going to be about that thick.
Yeah.
But convenience, it's not that bad. Is there any word of when this might exist ever?
This is still trying to get itself
it's a thunderclap. I hate thunderclap because it sounds like some kind of STI. It
sounds like the next generation.
Exactly.
It's Pokemon X and Y. It's got to the Mega Evolution. We have Thunderclap.
I just think Thunderclap is the worst name for any kind of promotional activity because it's supposed to be positive, but it sounds so horribly bad.
To be fair,
I'm suffering from Thunderclap. Oh mate, I'm sorry. Are you all right? Do you want a pint? That is.
To be fair, outside of the UK, the clap doesn't have the same connotation.
Yeah, the clap is a... I don't know what the clap is. It's an STI of some sort. I don't know what it actually is. I just know you don't want
a case...
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You don't want a case of the clap, do you? But a thunderclap. Oh! Yeah. It sounds even more painful. And that's my problem. Every time I see thunderclap, I just think, oh, poor guy. Yeah. I don't think, I want to buy his phone.
But anyway, the idea of the phone blocks, the modular phone, is actually a good one.
Yeah. It's been done before, but not to that extent. People have played with the idea of a modular phone. But
yeah. What were we on for that? Yeah.
The iPhone.
iPhone. Yeah.
There's a cheap one, there's a shiny one, and... Can we get onto the 64-bit? Because that is the biggest joke of this.
Yeah.
64-bit processors, when they first came out, it had a practical reason. Basically, 64-bit existed because memory needed to go above 4 gig.
We hit the memory limitation that was that we could use for PCs, and at which point there was so many fucking workarounds and hacks and so on and so forth. We had to basically increase the memory log.
Yeah, and to make this easier for anyone that doesn't quite understand, because I'm not the biggest tech geek, but to put it into layman's terms, 64-bit versus 32-bit is like taking a 3-lane motorway and adding another 3 lanes.
Yes.
Nothing moves faster, but more moves.
Yeah.
So you can address more at a time, and it will run faster if you're using all 6 lanes.
Yeah.
But what will generally happen in most cases, you'll only be using 3 anyway.
Yeah, because you've got to write the software to be able to backwards compatible. This is where I see the downfall of the 5S. The 64-bit processor, all well and good. developers are going to start, if they want to use those 64 bits,
They'll ignore the 32.
they'll ignore the 32, which means anybody with a 5C, anybody with a 5, anybody with a 4, 4S, 3G, whatever the 3G.
All the previous ones, basically, it's not going to be compatible.
Yeah.
This is the first time Apple software could become fragmented.
Yeah.
Unless Apple writes it into the terms, you have to produce a 32-bit and a 64-bit, at which point developers will say, fuck off.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
No, they won't say fuck off. They'll just create a 32-bit.
Yeah.
They won't create a 64-bit, at which point the 5S becomes obsolete.
Yeah. There's no real benefit at the moment because you lose a lot of
Maybe
market
2
base.
more generations down the line when all of the...
Yeah.
Do you want to know my favourite bit of the 5S? You don't like the 64-bit processor. My favourite thing for the 5S that's that just to me screams stupidity.
Gold.
No.
The stupid fingerprint reader thing.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Fingerprint scanning. Now, all well and good, yes, your fingerprint is unique. Being able to unlock your phone with your fingerprint is a genius idea. Until the moment that you're being mugged and you need to ring the police, your hand is covered in blood and the fingerprint scanner can no longer remember your finger because it's covered in blood.
There's worse. Your fingerprint, if you've got a scar or a mark that develops, suddenly you can't get into your phone.
Yeah.
They mounted the fingerprint readers to the most unreliable piece of an iPhone, that stupid fucking home button that always breaks.
Yep.
It's a nice idea, and to be honest, I think we need to move beyond passwords. Smartphone makes sense. Because,
Biometric, yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with biometrics.
No. But there's a few different...
There are flaws in biometrics.
This is my problem. I've had a laptop with a fingerprint reader.
Yep.
And it was all well and good. But after 3 attempts of swiping your finger because it's overly greasy and you can't quite detect... I mean, technology's moved on. It does actually... It's a better fingerprint reader in the iPhone. As long as it reads perfectly first time, every time, quickly, it's fine. But quite often on my laptop, I could type my password quicker than I could swipe and get it to process. If they get around that, that's fine. The other issue is the fact that fingerprints don't change, but any marks to your thumb, anything that
if you
sunburn can cause problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you put the fingerprint lock on answering the phone, say, I don't know if you can do that, but say you're working on your car, you've got your hands in the engine, you're covered in fucking grease.
yeah.
Somebody rings, it's an emergency, it's your grandmother. She's having a heart attack and for some reason she's rung you rather than an ambulance.
Exactly.
You can't answer the phone because your fingers are pitch black.
And I'm sure there's people now saying, well, you can't do that on a normal phone anyway. I'm sorry, but the
I'm
amount
sorry,
of
yes
times,
you can.
No, I mean with a greasy finger. But the amount of times I've unlocked my phone with my nose, don't question it. It happens.
You're talking to a man who has managed to butt dial with an iPhone.
Well, I told you now, I went for a walk and it was during the heat wave in the UK and I got that hot and sweaty my phone was activated by my leg.
Yeah.
I managed to rearrange every desktop icon, delete widgets. Pretty much I texted everyone down the street with my thigh. It wasn't a good experience. But when it comes down to... I have no idea where I'm going now. I've lost my train of thought. When it comes down to this kind of biometric stuff, I like the idea of the wearable stuff.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm still... Because one way you get a ring and the RFID, unlock your phone, away you go.
Yeah.
I still don't quite understand. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think biometrics is the answer. Because you could use your eyes, but if somebody goes blind, they're locked out. You could use your thumb.
No, their eyes are still there.
Yeah, I know.
And their eyes are still the same if they're blind.
You can change. Look at some people go glassy.
I suppose,
It depends the reason behind.
I suppose conjunctivitis and that kind of shit, yeah. I suppose.
Anything can affect your eye. Anything can affect... Someone does your heartbeat. I'm curious about this one because it's a wristband and it measures your heartbeat and it uses that to determine who you are and let you into your phone. What if you've been jogging? I genuinely, I don't know if it accounts
I'm sorry,
for...
yeah. I'm
Just
sorry.
a bit, you watch porn and it locks you out.
No. Literally, that's worse than my bloody handprint idea because you're having a heart attack, your heart rhythm's going fucking wrong.
I need to go for someone. Fuck off! You would just be... You're already in a dire situation. Your phone's saying, sorry, I don't recognise you. It's me. Don't you remember me? Please.
Let's get back to this news stories because we're not the only ones ragging on Apple. Apparently their stock tumbled 5%
Yeah.
within the first 12 hours.
Funnily enough, though, do you know what amused me about this?
What?
Right, Apple stock tumbled.
Yep.
Right, which obviously means, people have no faith in Apple. ARM shares went up 10%. Now, ARM designed the chips that go into the Apple thing. So what that's saying is people expect iPhones to sell,
Yeah.
but they just think it's a shit idea.
Yeah, we've got no faith in Apple to keep this going, but we know they're going to sell this generation, so get some money into the people who make the chips.
I genuinely, I'm lost by that.
No, that's exactly what I'd expect.
But Samsung came out as well. They said they're going to make a 64-bit chip. They said it's going to be in the next phone. But let's be honest, a 64-bit chip is useless if you've got a 32-bit OS.
Yep.
We've got Android, which is 32-bit. But Samsung sit.
Do you think Google will make Android 64-bit?
Google have always been quite pragmatic. They're always down to earth, simple. That's how it's done. There's no need to move to 64-bit yet.
However, they've been pushing Android as both a mobile and a tablet interface.
Yeah.
And if the people are starting to make 64-bit chips, do you not think they've... It's been written on a PC, so it's being written on 64-bit devices. Yeah. I think they already have coded in the 64-bit. I would be very surprised if they haven't.
Look at it this way. Samsung said we're releasing a phone, or the next phone will be 64-bit.
Yeah.
Samsung are one of the major developers that are involved in the Android
partnership. Yeah, Android consortium, yeah. There's a 64-bit version of Android there, basically.
Pretty much what they're saying is there will be a 64-bit Android. We don't know exactly when. They might release before that exists. It doesn't matter. But as soon as it does get turned on, they're there and ready.
KitKat will be 64-bit.
Could be. I still laugh at the fact it's called KitKat.
I still laugh at the fact that they managed to reduce their Skittle consumption by a third by having people monitor the Skittles.
This amuses me more than anything. Do you know how they did it?
They made the glass jars that held the Skittles black.
Yeah. If you can't see how many Skittles are in there, apparently you're less greedy. Which I can work on that, because if I see a full thing of Skittles, I think, well, nobody will notice if half go missing. Whereas if I don't know, it's kind of, oh.
See, I wouldn't work at Google, because I'd just think, ooh, Skittles!
Yeah. Look at it from my point of view. Today, somebody turned up with 4 packs of muffins.
Yeah. Is that where the muffins came from? Did you not even buy them muffins?
Loads of savoury things and loads of cookies. And at the end,
am I getting second-hand muffins?
Yeah, you are. And basically, I ate about half of everything there throughout the day. I mean, there's about 16 people in our team. Yeah. I ate about half. So I put some effort in. And at the end of the day, I then took a lot of them. And what I garner from this is the fact that if you've got a greedy bastard in your team, it doesn't matter what colour the glass is, they're still going to eat all the fucking Skittles. And it's me. And I will eat all the Skittles.
Yeah, we proved that last week.
I'm getting ridiculed by everyone for that one.
Really?
Yeah. Someone at work said, you a fan of Skittles? And it took me a second. Oh, well, you're not very good at getting me. Oh.
Yes!
So thanks for that, Paddy.
You're welcome.
I think our outtakes are better than our actual fucking podcast.
Where have we got? We've done Valve sharing. Let's go Kickstarter. Kickstarter for StarCraft Universe got funded, so that's good. That's going to get pushed forward, and I really want that. Whoop. And the Kickstarter for the next album for Video Games Live has managed to reach funding goal, and
again,
another.
Whoop.
Yeah.
I don't know what more to add. The thing is, I've not actually seen Video Games Live. I know what it is, and I appreciate it, but I've not seen it. So I probably should.
Humble Indie Bundle 9 is now going live, and
it's good.
It's
I'm getting to the point now where I own a lot of these already.
Yeah, you're a few behind me. I was at this at about Indie Bundle 6.
Yeah, so I've got Brutal Legend, I've got Trine 2, I've got Fez, and I've got Faster Than
The
Light.
only thing I'm glad of is the Humble Bundle, the Brutal Legend gives me the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack for Brutal Legend.
Nice. For that game.
Yeah. It gives me Fez, which I was never going to pay for and buy outright.
Unfortunately, I did. And then Phil Fish became even more of a wanker. And then I kind of wish I could actually just trade it in. Screw the money, just give him it back. Physically, walk up to Phil Fish and say, stop being a pretentious fuckbag, here's your game back.
Yeah.
because he annoys me.
Give him your Steam key from the Indie Bundle. Just tweet him your Steam key. I just don't want your game. Here's your Steam key back. Give it to some fucker else.
I wonder if that'd get me much attention.
Well, people
sure
watching his Twitter account might take the game.
Well, they will, won't they? Somebody will take it.
But Trine, I already had. Mark of the Ninja, I had. Brutal Legend, I had. Faster Than Light, I had. I only got Eats Munchies and Fez.
Well, I'll be honest, Eats Munchies is all I'm interested in, just because it looks like a little bunny.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the game is.
No.
But I'm guessing it eats munchies. Oh, God. We got rid of them.
No, 30 Year Studios are back. Their loan is under SEC investigation.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what the SEC is.
They're not back in any way, shape or form, but they're back in the news.
They're back in the podcast.
Yeah. We don't know
and
why,
we're remembering the right name. And the fact that Craig called them a bunch of fat bastards.
Nice.
Do you not remember the week he was here and we were just laughing at the picture of them and they were all rather large?
We know where the 30... Well, it's more than 38 million.
Yeah.
The millions went.
£75 million. There is apparently a hearing... the SEC, which it doesn't say what they are.
The Securities Exchange Commission or something like that.
That would be it. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, basically they're looking into the fact that £75 million loan was given to a company
that couldn't prove their worth.
Exactly, yeah. They did put guarantees on it, but obviously the guarantees weren't worthwhile.
Yeah.
So they're looking into it and thinking...
why the loan actually happened.
Exactly. Something's not quite right.
And Copernicus...
Yeah.
The Project Copernicus, the MMO they were working on, the rights to Copernicus go on the auction next month.
That's worth a couple of quid.
Yeah, about $2.50.
Yeah, I'll have that.
I'll buy it for a tenner. I'll give him a bit worth.
Gran Turismo 7.
I was hoping you wouldn't spot that one.
It's in a year or two on PlayStation 4. Which,
yeah.
I'll be honest,
GT7 PS4.
I think GT7 should become an MMO.
Really?
Or the same model as an MMO. It's already got lots of people racing online. If they made it into a perpetual world and just kept updating, patching and adding bits, that would be absolutely fantastic. But every time they start from scratch. So new models, new physics, new everything. And it becomes a bit fucking annoying because you have to keep buying a new one. If they just
I agree. I can see I can see Gran Turismo as a fucking MMO.
I think many games work on that principle. Any sports game
should be an
racing
MMO.
is a sports game.
FIFA should be a sports game.
Yeah, they work well because...
Sorry, an MMO, yeah.
Gran Turismo
FIFA should be a sports game.
Gran Turismo tell us every time that they get the physics. Oh, the physics are perfect. If they're perfect, you stop fucking tweaking them.
Yeah.
If they're perfect, stop playing about and just keep adding more models.
Yeah.
Update them, add them as patches. I will pay a subscription to keep racing, to keep this competitive thing. They could do competitions. They could do all sorts with it.
Yeah.
But I just feel they're a bit stunted by the current model of, here's a game, you buy it, it's done.
Well, they could even take the full MMO model and, release patches every few months, which are your DLCs.
Exactly.
And every 18 to 24 months, expansion pack.
Expansion pack, yeah. But £20 expansion pack on a Gran Turismo game, and I would be happy to pay it. Every time I have to buy a new Gran Turismo game, and let's be honest, the last one was a washout.
Yeah.
Because it works on the MMO principle of we'll launch, then we'll make it a decent game.
Yep.
It just gets annoying. I'd rather have a decent game that I can carry on playing whilst they do extra bits in the background.
Yep.
Rather than a game that's half done, they fix, and then start adding bits. Anyway, carry on.
Well, should we stick with MMOs and the fact that Vin Diesel has reformed the company that made the last two Chronicles of Riddick games. Now, I'll admit, in my opinion, both of the Chronicles of Riddick games have been brilliant games.
Yeah.
Butcher Bay was spectacular. Dark Athena, good. Not as good as Butcher Bay.
I'm agreeing with you here. Like, yeah, I've heard good things, but I realised I've heard good things from you. So, yeah, alright, I'll go along with that.
Have I still got them?
You have, yeah. Somewhere. I've seen it, it's fine.
Then borrow it.
Yeah. You've also got Darkness 2.
Yes.
Sorry, Darkness Within. I don't have that. I want a copy of it, damn it.
Take it.
I might have to. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, he's helped reform the company to make another Riddick game. Because obviously he pretty much owns the right to the Riddick franchise at this point.
Well, didn't he fund the latest film? He actually put his own money behind it.
Yeah.
So I pray to God it's a success, because everyone likes Riddick.
Yeah.
And he deserves something for actually funding it himself.
Another... It was the only shooter, only online... Well, sorry, no, not the only online... The online, most recent online shooter I've enjoyed playing.
Yeah.
Because Riddick mode is fucking genius.
Because he's a badass and everyone has to kill him, right?
Yeah. Literally, the way the Riddick mode worked was all the map, apart from the respawn area for the normal shooter person, is in complete pitch black. So the Riddick, night vision.
Yeah.
So you're running around with your little glaives, hacking and slashing people. And if any of the bounty hunters manage to clock you moving around, flashlight in your face, you can't see jack shit, shoot you, they become the Riddick. And you become a bounty hunter.
Nice. See, that is a nice little
That's
idea.
a genius
it's
game
the
mode.
King of the Hill mode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, once you kill the king, you
And
become the king.
Yeah, and the winner of the match was whoever managed to stay in Riddick mode longest.
Yeah. I love that idea. Although, really, what you get from that is it's actually more prudent to hide than it is to kill. But I suppose that's half the fun, isn't it?
Yeah, that's... But anyway, Vin Diesel has been talking about it, and he's reformed the company, and they're working on another game. And it's an MMO. Now, I know why that face you've just pulled, because you've immediately jumped to a Riddick MMO. But it's not.
Is it just based in the world?
It's a bounty hunter MMO.
Alright.
So the universe will be filled with bounties, and literally all the people in the game will be bounty hunters. So it'll then be fighting over getting to those bounties.
Nice.
Which is what would happen in a real universe filled with bounty hunters.
Well, you have to look at, in the Riddick universe, the bounty hunters were...
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the ones that went after him were suicidal, weren't they? But
Yeah. The ones that went after him were suicidal, but they'd bump into other bounty hunters that would take the bounty from them. You'd have people...
I like the idea you could steal a bounty off someone.
Well, that's
So
it.
they've got them, captured them, they're flying away.
You'd have to take the proper lore in it, and so basically, you've captured your bounty, great, but now you've got to get them to a prison to collect the bounty, and that trip is when you can get attacked.
I'm thinking as well. I'm just remembering was it Chronicles where they have to land on the planet that's like lava?
The triple max.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but
Fuck.
it's a good one.
It's in my head. Yeah.
I like the idea that it could actually be tricky to get them to the planet where you want them to get them to. Anywho.
You time it wrong, get to the planet wrong, you can't actually land. You're in orbit with this fucking $3 million bounty.
People are watching.
And people are watching.
You can have some fun with it. The problem is, as bad as it is, when I see Vin Diesel and MMO, I just think some guy trying to capitalise. I realise that's not what it is, because he's a big geek.
He's a big geek. He is a massive nerd.
Dungeons and Dragons style geek, isn't he? I mean, he is a proper geek. And let's be honest, he's not making this. No. He's getting someone else to.
No, he's getting the people that made a good Riddick game and said, here you go, get to it.
Yeah. So,
and fucking good on him.
I appreciate, as much as I want to hate him for Fast and Furious, he's clearly actually quite a nice guy. Excuse me.
I'm sorry, but even in Fast and Furious, again, a franchise he pretty much owns at this point, he even managed to find a way to make himself look a bit like a pansy by casting The Rock. Vin Diesel walks into a normal film and, I am Vin Diesel, look at my muscles, and then he casts himself alongside The Rock, and The Rock goes, ha! Faggot.
The Rock's become ridiculous now, though. He's not a real human anymore.
No.
He's just this kind of big tank thing. Although I'm going to have to find it. I have a picture of The Rock where The Rock looks small.
Yeah.
Because he's against two massive giants either side of him. Anywho.
Have we got everything?
I think we've covered pretty much everything there.
Valve Family Sharing, Humble Bundle, 38 Studios, Xbone.
League of Legends.
Oh, League of Legends. They've poached one of the EVE Online lead designers. Which is quite a novelty.
Yeah. So, extra time stuff?
We only have one video for the extra time stuff, and that's a trailer video for Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare.
You should go see that. It's good. If you're still watching this, if this is still working, go see that.
There's still a red light on top, I'm praying.
Also, the dinosaur apparently has to be anything but Barney.
I wouldn't have even thought of Barney.
For copyright reasons, I don't think we'd be allowed to do Barney.
Who was asked for the dinosaur?
It was that other podcast, Killer somebody.
Oh, Kilobits.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, they're a good YouTube channel then. And
go see them, all of our 13 listeners. Go see Kilobits. But come back. I'm lying, there's 14 of you.
We're at the end of the video. Why are they coming back?
We need a dinosaur.
I'm sure I could get someone from Turok.
Yeah. We haven't... the intro was for the other one, wasn't it? Did we do an intro for this? Or did we do it for the talky thing, the previous?
Intro?
You should definitely come and find us on Twitter. I'm
Gal.
He's...
At some point, we really need to record this sober.
Right, now's our chance. No, do it drunk. It's more fun. Right, wait. Right, while Paddy laughs, you can find me on Twitter as D_cow. He's DrunkenGamer. We have 8-Bit Alliance. We have 8bitalliance.com. 8bitalliance.com/YouTube. And just find us on Facebook.
Facebook.com/Drinky Talky Thingy.
Come find us.